So do you ever wonder why your irons never feel quite right at impact? Well, you're not alone. Most golfers are completely missing the sweet spot even without realising it. But here's the thing, fixing it is easier than you think. Let's break down why you do it so poorly, and most importantly, let's make sure you pure your irons every single time. So for me, when you watch the best players in the world hit their iron shots, make it look so easy, don't they? They set up to the golf ball, put that swing on it, the sound's incredible, they hit it so accurately and such a good solid distance. But unfortunately, when you go and play, maybe it's a different story. You kind of get yourself in the same position, obviously with a different club into the green, but let's say you've got 7-iron and you stand over the golf ball, feel so good about what you're about to do, and you just get that little thinny one. We can see there, ball speed down, and even though the result's good, 141 carry, but it fell absolutely dreadful low off the face. Now, I'd say for most golfers, that's a great bad one as well. So what we tend to see is the thins, fat, topping the golf ball, just not really using the middle of the club face and not getting the energy that we put into the club into the golf ball. Now, when I see golfers face to face, they get told an awful lot about, I know with an iron I need to hit down on the golf ball. You can hear the noise in the studio there. My divot would have been so deep. And most importantly there, the divot would have been behind the golf ball. Now you've only got to do a couple of them to suddenly think, hang on a minute, touching the ground is an awful thing to do. So you swing back, miss the ground and top it. So what we notice with the best players in the world is at setup, they give themselves the best opportunity to create ball and then ground contact, but then they make a movement that guarantees that they get that strike. Now, when I'm talking about ball and then ground contact, what we're talking about is when we swing the golf club, trying to make the lowest point of our swing target side of the golf ball. And if we achieve that, the club is travelling down to reach a low point, it would collect the golf ball, then enter the ground and then come back out. So the deepest bit of your divot, if you're on turf, is the low point of your swing. Now, what I'll see with most golfers is they'll set up to the golf ball, they'll tell me the weight's very 50-50, ball's kind of middle of the stance, but they're almost kind of back behind the ball, they make that swing. The ball launched at 21 degrees, low point was 1.1 inches behind, so I've chunked that one and we see 94 yards carry. But I've just said that we need that low point to be target side, so it should be after the golf ball. Now, in my opinion, most golfers struggle with the shots from the ground because they're trying to get underneath the golf ball. And the first thing we see when we're trying to get under is we tend to go this way, and as we swing, we stay back. And I can see there, I'm going to touch the ground or miss the ground and top it. So we need to, like I said, at address, get you in a position that instantly gives you a chance. So if we go from where the normal amateur golfer would be, I'm going to say the weight's 50-50, but you can see the shaft's very much straight up. And my sternum's probably slightly behind the golf ball. So all we're going to change from there is we're actually just going to move our hips, our sternum, slightly forward. And we can see, as we move slightly towards the target, we can see a little bit of shaft lean, and everything's a little bit more preset, closer to where we'd like impact to be. So the first thing I say for most golfers is we go from our normal address position, and we just move slightly forward, and then we make that swing. Straight away, the noise is different. So we saw 84 mile an hour club speed, ball speed at 118, low point 4.1 inches after, minus 4.8 degrees on attack angle, which is down, launch angle at 15.6, and carry at 163. And hopefully, that was that effortless movement that we see with the best players in the world. But the big thing there was straight away, just me moving towards the target, kind of preset me a little bit more this way, which again makes it easier to move that low point after the ball, and then from a good club head speed, the ball speed picks up and we de-loft the golf club. Now, I've spoken in previous videos about de-lofting the club, and a lot of people say, well, why would you de-loft it? Why don't you just use less club? Well, the de-lofting it is actually then a consequence of moving the mass of our body more towards the target, creating shaft lean. And the best players in the world, approximately, whatever the loft is on their 7-iron, they'll turn it into about half. Now, very often when I see golfers, whatever the loft is on their 7-iron, they're almost presenting the same as it is at address. So there's no moving forward, there's no compressing the golf ball, there's no pure strike, and there's no good, powerful shots. So I want you to imagine if you were looking at the club face there, that if I were to swing back and hit the ball with no shaft lean, I'd probably make contact with about 2 grooves up on the face. But straight away, as I move towards, I can see there's almost the 4th groove in contact with the ball. And then what I'm looking to do is, as I swing back, I'm going to move my hips much more towards the target. A lot of golfers tell me sliding's a bad thing. Well, best players in the world all move towards the target, and then we can see here, comfortably I'm going to be into that 4th or 5th groove up the face. So that's the key, isn't it? We're going to get there. We're going to just preset a little bit more towards the target, and then we're going to try and let the hips and the body move more towards the target at impact. Now, I mishit that one a little bit, but 88 mile an hour club speed, 115 ball speed, 4.3 inches ahead, clubs travelled down 4.8 degrees, and 158 carry with a mishit. I love that. That's already going further with a mishit than the one I felt was good before. So again, we've got to make sure that ability to reposition the mass of our body further towards the target than we are at address. But we're all going to start a little bit closer, then make that swing. You can see 90 mile an hour club speed, 124 ball speed, low point ahead, club travelling down, 15.4 launch and 169 carry. Now, I've not put total on there because for me, it's kind of a little bit irrelevant and ground conditions are very decisive on this and where the ball rolls to. But the ability to carry the ball further through the air with an iron is really important. Hitting it over bunkers, onto greens, and hopefully getting it to stop. But I think most golfers they struggle so much because they want to get the ball in the air. They don't get into that powerful impact position. They don't really find the middle of the club face. They just find very, very low, or if they fat it, it's very high on the face. But it's so simple. If we can get there, and I didn't say easy, just so simple, that we take our address position, move a bit more towards the target, and then we're going to try and move more towards the target in the downswing. And again, that felt incredible. Just over 90 mile an hour club speed, 128 ball speed, low point 3.6 inches ahead, clubs travel down 4 degrees and 177 carry. So if you have been one of those golfers who's really struggled to hit their irons solidly from the ground, rewatch today's video, work through it, comment on it, maybe even like it and share it to somebody who also struggles with their irons. But if I can get you tweaking that address position and then moving your body more like the best players in the world, I guarantee you're going to hit some of the best iron shots of your life.